Hello once again everyone, Original Blood Ace here again, and now it's time for another Miiverse Shenanigans. This time the topic is actually Nintendo themselves. This Julie lady posted a tip, which is mentioning posting friend codes on Miiverse is restricted. Nintendo, this is another little screw up, even though technically this has already been in your rules before, but you actually coming out and saying no posting friends, no making new friends. This is just another fuck up on your list of fuck ups that I should have added to my video I did the other day. But it's become quite apparent that your reason for this is you simply don't want people to have more friends. You wanted to make an online community that people can use, but without actually really interacting with anyone and making new friends and any of that. You literally want people to use the Miiverse to talk about the individual games themselves in each community and nothing more. I remember since day one of the Miiverse, since day one the Wii U came out, there were people like me and others who were posting, can we please get a general community so we can talk about off-topic things. Now you right here, like, this just proves you were never even going to give us anything like that. Because you don't want us talking about anything other than your games. Why is that, Nintendo? Why? Maybe because your games are the only damn good thing about your company? Is that it? Now, I can see both sides of the story. I mean, I can see why you don't want sharing friend codes because of the whole issue with the swap note thing, but without swap note anymore on the 3DS, this is no harm. There's nothing you can do that's any harm to sharing friend codes on the Miiverse. Like making a new friend, telling them your friend code, whatever. There's no harm in it anymore. There's no communication on the 3DS. The 3DS is the better system of the Wii U and the 3DS on the sense of games, but you are literally crunching and crushing your fans who just want to have a good time and meet more people, you know? But this goes also with your online thing. I think this is basically you saying in a, non-direct way, the reason we don't do online in our games is because we don't want you to play with other people. We don't want you to play with people you don't know because you don't trust the world, Nintendo. You don't trust people. Now granted, that is a partially wise decision since there's most people on the planet you really shouldn't trust. But they're gamers. Gamers interact with other gamers. It's been that way since the beginning. Since frickin' arcade tournaments, when there was arcades where you could go and play Pac-Man or Atari or what is it called, House of the Dead or all that type of stuff, where people would go and play tournaments and the old Mario Kart tournaments and the original Donkey Kong on arcade machines. People would go there and they'd interact with each other and they'd make new friends by gaming. But you don't seem to want to do that anymore. You don't want people to make new friends in the gaming industry. Why is that? I have no idea. Now, I know asking the question I'm not going to get an answer, but why? Because it's just me talking to my fucking self here. But it's just, this is getting retarded. Now, what does she actually say here? For kids, please make sure your parents read this with you. Are you saying kids can't read? Is that what you're saying? And the code of conduct. Yeah, well, your code of conduct's bullshit, Nintendo. When you ask for your cooperation, shut the fuck up. It's a give and take here, Nintendo. You can't just ask us for our cooperation when we don't want to cooperate in the first place because we don't like what you're giving us. That's like saying, that's like giving us half of a pie and saying, oh, please cooperate. We think you should just have half a pie. We don't think you deserve a whole pie. You're not playing with a full deck of cards here, Nintendo. You're taking and taking and taking. You need to realize that you need to listen to your fans more. You need to see what they want. Because that is the only way to fix your credibility, your image, your ego, everything. And I'm just going to show you a few of these little posts here that people have done. I can't even post because of it hit the limit so fast. Let's skip the other languages. On one hand, it's a dumb rule. On the other hand, I can't even remember my friend code off the top of my head, blah, blah, blah. 3DS users getting literally screwed over in many ways, blah, blah, blah. No friends on the 3DS, blah, blah, blah. Like, people are complaining. Now, of course, you can go onto forums, like IGN's forums, or, you know, all that, and you can add friend requests that way, or friend codes that way, and write them down and share them that way. But, I don't know. It's really stupid. Now, I'm working on a little something where, let's just say, friend code sharing is perfectly acceptable with what I'm working on. Not going to spoil it, but it will be a neat little thing. Obviously, it probably won't turn into anything big, but it's basically going to be something for my fans, whether it's YouTube fans or Miiverse fans, a place to interact where there is no admins. I'm the one in charge. But anyway, that's all I'm going to talk on that subject. I'm not going to spoil anymore. Let's read some more people here. Wow, just wow. I mean, how are we supposed to find friends on Miiverse? Exactly. All this crying about obeying a rule. Look at this little Nintendo puppet here. See, that's another thing. There's one thing about being a Nintendo fan, and then there's another thing about being... I don't even know if a fanboy is the right word. Basically, a yes man is what some people are, where they're like, oh yes, Nintendo, thank you, everything you do is perfect, and it's amazing, and whatever the little teeny thing Nintendo gives it, whether it's a good thing, whether it's a bad thing, they're just all like, oh, thank you, oh great Nintendo, you're amazing, thank you, oh, praise, 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 and sucking up to them and kissing their ass. Those guys should be ignored by everyone, like that JO3 guy. Grow up and find another way to trade friend codes. It's not a matter of growing up, and telling someone to grow up isn't really mature yourself. But it's the whole purpose to this, or the whole issue, is that why did Nintendo go through the trouble of making it online if it's only going to be used for ways that the fans themselves don't really want to use it? It's like Nintendo made it... You know, Miiverse seems like it should have been a thing for the Nintendo executives to use, to talk with themselves. Maybe even developers themselves who are have contracts with Nintendo. Because it doesn't seem like many of the fans... You know, every time you ask a fan, what do you want to see to Miiverse, they always say, you know, more colors for drawing, or, you know, sharing friend requests, and bigger character limits, and all that type of stuff. And Nintendo just doesn't do it. Sure, they upgraded the character comment once, and everything, but people are being ignored here. Are you kidding me? That isn't even breaking a rule, and now they've gone and banned it. I don't know what he's talking about. She says she sees both sides of the story. Time for you to blink, or bink, I think she meant blink, to realize Wii U is an awful console. See, that's not true. The console itself, the hardware, like the system itself, the physical hunk of plastic you have in your room, there's no problem with it, there's no issue with it. The issue is with Nintendo, their arrogant attitude, their delusional attitude, and well, the admins. And then, as you can see, someone posted something there that got deleted by admins. I'm guessing he's probably said something like, this fucking sucks. Guys, don't ruin Miiverse for me. Nintendo already killed off Swapnote, and I don't want Miiverse to share its horrible fate. I don't know. No matter what, Miiverse is already in a horrible situation. Just look at the Smash Bros. Community. I don't even use it anymore except for posting my own comments, or my own posts. I don't comment really on other people's posts anymore in there because it's all trolls and pointless bullshit that has no point at all. Because the admins are failing to do their job. They've been failing since day one. But anyway... What else do we got here? I don't understand why we can't post friend codes. There's nothing wrong with it. Exactly! I'm guessing this is a kid. Even he gets it. Nintendo, I know it's just your console, it's your rules, that's perfectly fine. But give us an actual explanation for your decisions. Don't just say, oh, we're not letting you do that because we're not letting you. Tell us why. And if you can post an actual legitimate reason that every single, or the majority of people can understand, then we don't have a problem with it. But if you're just going to flat out deny us privileges and everything, and, you know, things that should be default on a system, especially in 2013, almost 2014, the 8th generations, why are you still here, Nintendo? Why are you, you know, you're trying to improve upon yourself, but it still seems like every time you do, you take 2 steps forward and then 1 step backwards. So you're really taking just little inch by inch forward, and it's just not going anywhere. This video's gone on long enough. I've babbled on, so I'm going to end the video. This is Original Blood Ace, as always. Stay tuned. More videos coming soon, as always.